I'm gonna do that. Okay, so we're recording. For the parents who didn't hear my introduction, I'm gonna go over a couple of things for the trip that's coming up January 10th through the 12th for winter camp. This is kind of a mandatory meeting because we really need our youth to get signed up. So I'm going to share this. And if you have any questions, definitely go back and email me or call me or text me. Um, but I'm going to share my screen. All right, so this is our winter camp. Um, some of you may know we did another camp not too long ago over the summer. It was great. It had its challenges, but overall, many of the youth actually gave their life to Christ, and some of them rededicated their life to Christ. If you have never experienced camp, as we used to say when I was younger, when I would go to camp, it's just hard to explain from the outside. It's a place where youth come and, as it says right there, create lifelong memories and growing together. I believe, I don't know who it was, but 2 weeks ago, when I was at the church, someone informed me that they actually went to winter camp through Covenant Harbor, and they said they still keep in contact with those same individuals to this day, the people that they met there. So this is not just fun, but it's also very memorable, and it can make a huge impact on your child, your grandchild, their life. So yeah, time away to build community, deepen your faith, and of course, we want to have fun. All right. So when is winter camp? As some of you know, it's January 10th through the 12th. That is coming up very shortly. I'll be speaking at the event. I'm super excited about that. Pastor Anthony actually spoke last year, and it's in Lake Geneva, which is in Wisconsin. And so we will be driving there. It's not too far of a drive. It's about 2 hour drive, hour 45 minutes. Um, the departure times, we will be leaving Calvary at 5 p.m. This is all subject to change. But as of right now, I tried to calculate it out for us. In order for us to get there on time, because it will be an evening check-in, we would have to leave around 5 p.m. Um, my hope is that we all get there on time. I know that some of us are coming from school. So I think the best thing to do is pack ahead of time, pack on Thursday, maybe pack earlier than that. We're going to run down the things that you need to pack, but the best thing to do is make sure your child, or if you're volunteering, you need to pack prior to Friday so that when they get home, they can grab their stuff, y'all can head on your way. Um, we have to leave at a certain hour. If you do choose to take your child down there, which isn't ideal because that can mess up a couple of things, you can talk to me afterwards about that. Um, so when are we returning? We're returning on Sunday. So again, it's the 10th through the 12th. And we're returning in the morning time. So this camp isn't too long. It's not a whole week. It's only a couple of days. And the last thing that they have is an 11 a.m. service. So we'll be in praise and worship. That's typically the tradition. Your last day, you're going to go into praise and worship. I see within the covenant denomination. And so we're going to do our last worship session, and then we're gonna head on the road. And so we'll probably be back around 2:30 p.m. on that Sunday. Some of you guys might be in church. You might want to just stick around just to pick your child up. But that's up to you. So that is all the information about the time and when we're leaving. Please don't be like, oh, I forgot everything. Don't even worry yourself. I'm gonna send you guys all this in a PDF, type it out, email it to you, whatever you need so that you can have it. But this is just what you can see for right now. So I'm not going to read through all of this. Some of you might be like, okay, my child's going to get there. What does it look like once they're there? What are we doing? As you can see, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, this is according to their website. These are some of the things that they could be doing. As you can see, we arrive. They have a couple of things that they do. As you can see, like each day there's some form of a session. And so those sessions, they're just sitting together, they're communicating, they're talking about something that I would have preached on. The theme is notice. And I can give you guys a little bit more details for that as well. But they'll be talking about some of the things that I preached about, something that stood out to them throughout the day. There's a lot of activities. There's breakfast, there's food, there's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They'll never go hungry. Trust me, it's a lot of food. Um, Quiet hours at 11 p.m. But this is kind of what it looks like day to day with the activities, the sessions, quiet hours, breakfast, all those things. Sacred spaces, as you can see, 11:30 a.m. This is kind of what it looks like. All right, activities overview. I'm going to move this out my way really quickly. This is the exciting part, you know. It's super exciting to just be in the presence of the Lord. They're going to be in praise and worship, they're going to be praying, they're going to be fellowshipping and doing a lot of things, but there's also this side of camp that's just extremely fun. Like climbing the tower, you know, rock climbing, zip lining, giant swing. I did the giant swing last year and I was very scared. You had to wear a helmet, you get taken all the way up to the top and then they drop you and you're just swinging and it's super fun. I went with Kirsten Casey, Pastor Emmanuel. We all had a blast. There's tubing, so snow tubing. Kind of won't go into all those things, but just know this stuff is interesting. It's a lot of fun. It's really a once in a lifetime experience because, you know, a lot of us don't do a lot of winter sports and activities. But if your child is someone who may not like to be too much outside, don't worry. There's also bouncy houses indoors. There's open gym, which is where we spent most of our time. You can play volleyball, basketball, all the type of sports that you could probably play in a gym. Your child will be able to do that. One thing we didn't participate in, and I can promise you right now, I will not be participating in, is the polar bear dip. And that's where you have your bathing suit on and all the kiddies jump into the lake. Yeah, I'm not doing that. But you know, if that's something your child is interested in and they can swim, then I'm sure they'll be able to do that. But yeah, I'll be recording that. Um, so as far as the activities are concerned, I will be talking about pricing afterwards. But as you can see, students may want to bring $10 to $30. There are a lot of cafes and snack shops. You know, you get a little hungry, you can grab snacks, some chips or whatever may have you. I always say, always have cash on you when you're away from your parents, just something, because you just never know. We might grab a bite to eat before we head back to the church. But it's not required. It is just highly suggested that they have a little extra cash on them. They might want to buy some merch, some sweaters. And so they'll have the opportunity to do so. And as you can see, some of this stuff does cost. But that might change. I believe she said some of those things don't cost anymore, but just a little extra cash is my request. So what to bring? As far as clothing is concerned, pants, shirts, underwear, socks, of course, sweatshirts, sneakers, warm winter coats, snow pants, mitten gloves, winter hats, snow boots, gym shoes. Do not forget the gym shoes because they will be playing sports. Swimsuit if they do the polar bear dip, and then pajamas. Now, I need you guys to understand, I went last year and I was thinking as I was driving down there, like, hey, I probably won't do no snow stuff. I'm probably not gonna need that stuff, like the boots. You know, I could just go. And then I stopped at like Walmart. And I'm like, you know what? I might as well grab it. It's super cheap. The boots were like 20, $15. It was very cheap at Walmart. And I'm just gonna grab it. That was the best decision I could have made, honestly, because I didn't realize how much snow we'd be walking in. If your child does come, they need boots, they need gloves, they need a scarf, a hat, a big winter coat. They need a winter coat. Um, they might not be outside all the time, but they will be walking outside because their cabins are outside. And don't worry, it's fully heated and furnished and all that. It's really, really nice cabins actually. But they will be walking outside. And I don't want them to get sick. And I don't want them to not participate. So yeah. All right, what to bring as far as the cabin is concerned? Of course, you'll need your sleeping bag, your pillow, your towel, your toiletries, and that's just what you need in any camp place. I don't have on their shower shoes, but I always have shower shoes wherever I go. It's highly recommended to bring your shower shoes, and then sleeping bag. If not, you can, have some sheets, cover, whatever to cover up that bed. They will be sleeping on beds. Miscellaneous, Bible, notebook, pen, face masks. If they, I don't know, if you want to do a face mask, you do face mask. Water bottle, but Bible, definitely need a Bible or a notebook, something to write down. If they don't have a Bible, just let me know. We have plenty of extra ones at the church. Notebook, yeah, they need to be writing, taking notes. This is an opportunity for them to learn. So if they don't have a notebook, again, let me know. We have plenty of extra things at the church. Um, Optional flashlight, camera, snacks. But if you do bring snacks, no nuts. There are many people with serious allergies to nuts. But they can bring snacks, if they want to keep it in their cabin. That's kind of what we did over the summer. And it was very convenient. Camera, if they want to take pictures, they can do so. Flashlight is very convenient at nighttime. We use the flashlights on our phones, but if they want to go all out, I know I'll do this year. I'm going to bring a flashlight. They can do so as well because you do walk at night. All right, everyone's favorite part, the cost breakdown. Um, as mentioned before, the cost per child is $189. So that includes lodging, okay, fully furnished, heated, bathrooms, everything that you can imagine. Honestly, it's not even camping, it's very luxury, it's very nice, in comparison to what I've done. So you have all that. It includes your meals, like I said before, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then of course the activities and all other things. But it's $189. You have to sign your child up, and I got this email today, actually, before hopping on here. You have to sign your child up by this Friday. If you need extra time to sign your child up, please let me know tonight or tomorrow. But you have to sign them up at least by this Friday. Um, so uh, one of the things that you'll find when you are signing up is that there is a $100 commitment fee. And this is basically so that we know that you are coming. It's easy to sign up. It's easy to say my child will be there, but it's a commitment fee. So if you put money on the line, more than likely you are going to come. That's just usually, how it works. So we're highly encouraging guys to sign up by this Friday. Um, uh, as you know, there are people that can sponsor you. We're still trying to get some people to sponsor. I know a couple of individuals that says, yes, I want to sponsor a child. Do not let money be the reason why you don't sign your child up. Please text me again if you are one of those people that are like, yeah, I need help. Um, Again, money should not be the reason why your child doesn't go. Let myself know, Pastor Anthony know, someone know, by Friday, before Friday. Okay. So yeah, that's that. My volunteers that are on here, this is you're essentially going, and you're doing a lot of work while you're there. There's a difference between the volunteers and people that are actually going to help with the youth. And I'll explain that afterwards. Actually, I'm not going to get into too much details. We'll just stick to the youth for right now. But we'll talk about that a little bit later as far as cost and all that is concerned. Transportation, there you guys aren't paying for transportation. As of right now, youth leaders and family will be providing transportation until further notice. So I know I have a truck, couple of other youth leaders that will be leading the youth this trip have trucks. And we are planning on driving your child down. I drove last year and I don't know, an hour and 45 minutes just isn't long to me. So if you want to drive your child down there, you most definitely can, but we do have an expectation to leave on time together from the church. But again, that if you can't drive your child down, that's perfectly fine. We have plenty of room in our vehicles to drive your child down. Again, subject to change, but that is how we're leaving as of right now. And then of course, the last thing, which I mentioned before, $10 to $30 to give your child for merch activities. As you can see below, it gives you a way to pay. If you do plan on paying or sending money, you can send it Calvary CC. This is just if you do plan on paying for your child full out. When you log into the sign up, you'll be paying $100. So don't send us $189. Save your $100 to sign up. So the first thing, before you even send us any money, pay for your child the $100 when you're signing up. Then you can send the $89 via Calvary CC, or if you're sending the $89 check, cash, whatever, always title it camp winter camp, put your child's name, just don't give me money. Just don't. I'm gonna assume that it's my birthday and you trying to give me something. So always put your name, put what it's for, and that way we'll know. All right. What not to bring. On their site, it says do not bring cell phones or any pets, electronics. Yeah, your child can bring their cell phones. I know that, you're going to want to contact your child while they're traveling an hour and 45 minutes. They're going to want to be on their cell phones. I'm not going to be that strict with cell phones until we get to the place. There's not going to be a lot of communication. I'll give them opportunity, just like I did over the summer, for your child to contact you. But when I was growing up, when I went to camp, we couldn't even bring phones to the camp whatsoever, just because it gave us the opportunity to really lock in with the Lord. And unfortunately, we're living in a day and time where sometimes we can't lock in with anything because we're so glued to our phones. So we need that break. Highly encouraging for your child to get that break from their Game Boys. It says Game Boys. They don't play Game Boys. All the things that they're utilizing that can possibly distract them from getting a one-on-one experience with people and God. You already know. Okay. They also can't bring personal sports equipment, firearms, weapons of any kind, fireworks, tobacco, alcohol, or drugs. And again, with the peanut allergies, please don't bring anything with peanuts. All right. Um, and then as you guys can see, here is probably the last thing that we'll be covering, unless you guys need me to clarify anything. This is my email. I'll give you guys the opportunity to take it down if you want to email me. This is my phone number. I texted you guys in a group chat. Some of you, I didn't put you in there. I apologize. But this is my phone number. And if you want to go on Covenant Harbor and do what you need to do, even now, this is their link. I've also put it inside of you can look inside of the comment section. All the links are in there. The link for volunteers. So what I mentioned before, there's going to be youth leaders. And so there's some people on here that you sign up to volunteer and you're a parent. The only people that can lead the youth are people that are signed up to be youth leaders. There are a lot of things that you'll be doing. You'll be governing the children, you'll be leading discussions, you'll be talking with them about a lot of things that they just watched. So you are actually leading the youth, and you're giving them a lot of information that we'll be going over during that weekend. Now, if you want to volunteer, right? You're just trying to volunteer. You don't really want to lead the youth. You really don't want to, give them, papers and go through different things with them. There's a whole process with leading the youth. You just want to volunteer. So in the comment section, you can click on that link or, save that link right now. You just want to come down because your child is coming down. They have a way for you to actually volunteer. You can pick the date, January 10th through the 12th, and you can just come. I don't know what exactly they'll have you doing. I'm sure it's a couple little things like setting up things if you want to volunteer for that weekend. But the youth leaders have a high expectation, and they'll also be paid for. So if you know right now that's not what you want to do, my hope and my suggestion is that you just sign up to be a volunteer. So that's something that you probably have to think about. I don't, it's a couple of volunteers and youth leaders on here now. Um, and that is it, I think, for this. I'm gonna come out of the shared video. Stop sharing. Alrighty. Okay. All right, so right now, before we break off and I speak with the people who are going to be volunteering and leading the youth, is there any questions that anyone has? Anything that I can clarify at all? Or anything, Pastor, that you want to add? Definitely just
Oh, yep. I just raised my
oh,
hand.
I
So
see.
thank you. That's very thorough. I took screenshots. I'll text them to you if you want to have pictures to just review a little more easily.
Yeah.
Um, and so I would definitely say to the parents, this is a worthwhile opportunity for your children. I think it's a great way to get them ready for the next Unite conference. Unite is done every 3 years, and I think that's for high school students only. A couple of things I just wanted to reiterate that Kaya shared out. The $100 is for we set that price. When Kaya and I walked through this, we set the price at $100 because if you heard in the announcements and you've heard me say openly that we're asking Calvary to support our youth by covering that other $89. And so we're to Kaya's point, the skin in the game is the $100 piece, and then we're praying that our faith community will come through, as I've been asking on Sundays. And so, one of our Calvary partners, who's not even a member of Calvary, brought to my house $100 towards $89 for a youth, and then she found out Casey was going, but that may or may not go to her. I'm not sure, but the goal is that we make up, if there are 10 children going, the goal is that our faith community will provide that $890, and then we just pay the balance with the church check, because we want to send our youth and we want you all as parents to know that your church is supporting you and your child or children. And so we want to make it as attainable as possible for everyone to go. So the chaperones. Now there are chaperones and there are volunteers. So the
Yes.
chaperones are going to work. The way Kaya already mentioned that, um, because she's preaching, she's required to give give questions, because after each sermon in each service, the teams go with their youth group. So all Calvary children youth will be together, and then they have to go through and respond to the sermon, and she has to prepare those questions for all the youth groups there. So Kaya is not going to serve that weekend as their youth pastor. She's going there on an assignment to preach, which is why the chaperones are necessary. So chaperones, if you're going to work, be busy, be up late, early, all of those things. So the church is sponsoring all the chaperones. The chaperone and volunteer rate is the same, 149. But those that are going to chaperone, the church is going to cover that for your time and your commitment to doing the work that's going to be required there to make the weekend effective for our youth. We'll only be working with Calvary youth, not youth in general. I'm not sure, for camp volunteers, Kaya, if you don't have that information, you may get that for those people that want to volunteer. And then you need to determine how many chaperones you'll need for that work. But if you're interested in going as a volunteer and you need, the support, especially if you're a parent volunteering and you're paying for your student and yourself, let Kaya know. and then we will, we'll work through that and do what we have to do to make it attainable for families, especially those parents who are taking a child and going to be working. So it's my heart's desire that as a faith community, we work together and we do the best we can together to make things like this happen, so that our families can get what they need. The last thing that I'll say is, depending on the the cabin that they have the young people in, they probably want to bring their own sheets and comforters, and they probably want to bring their own bathing towels. Sometimes they have towels, and I've stayed at Covenant Harbor multiple times. Um, and I stayed in one thing I went through. I stayed in a little bunk thing, and they have no sheets for those bunks, and that joker is cold. I have to turn the heat up high, but they don't have the most comfortable towels. So if you or your child is a towel snob, bring your own towel. I'm a towel snob, so that's why I'm saying that. Okay, so bring your own towels. They may or may not have those. So I'm just trying to give you all as much information in advance that you might want to to know about in advance. So those are just the other things that I thought about while you were presenting. We do have a hand up, Christelle, and then you do have some questions in the chat, Kaya, that you'll need to address.
Yes, thank you, Pastor. So I see in the chat someone asked about, let me pull that up. Oh, okay. You asked about how much is it for volunteers? You want to chaperone. Right. So there are some people that can just come as chaperones. And like I said, if you look inside of the chat, and it was before you guys all came on, I just decided to put in the links. There's a link that says docs, docs.google. So if you click on that link, it'll lead you directly to the site that you can use to volunteer. And it says the dates 10 through the 12th. I don't think that chaperones have to pay. I think that, I mean, not chaperones, excuse me, volunteers have to pay. So when you put your information in, they're going to contact you because you're volunteering for their for Covenant Harbor. So they're going to contact you, but I believe that if you volunteer, it is free. When I went through it, that's just kind of what it looked like, but don't hold me to that. They might send you like, hey, there is a $15 fee. I don't know. But if I were you, you're interested in coming, you're interested in just volunteering, just do it. It doesn't cost anything to sign up. And then they'll just email you the information. Just make sure you put it in for the 10th through the 12th. So if you do want to volunteer, you can do so. Um, any questions? Christelle, did you have your hand up? How can we sponsor a youth? I'm sorry if you guys hear a dinging sound. Um, yes, if you want to sponsor a youth, just let me know personally, first things first. And what you're going to do is you're going to uh, give the money directly to the church, kind of like I said before. Um, you're going to send it to Calvary. I was trying to bring it up, but you know how when we go in for service, there's Calvary CC. You can do that via Cash App. I would say that's the best suggestion right now because we kind of have to get the children in. Um, but if you yourself know that you want to sponsor a child, please let me know right now, so that we can get that out the way. And if there was someone who needs help, I can let them know, like, hey, you just got to put your child's information in. They've already been paid for. See if I can quiet that down. Is there any more questions? Hopefully I answered that. Any more questions? Alrighty. Okay. Yay. Thank you so much. You're gonna sponsor
Yeah,
you.
Kaya, it was one more question.
Oh, I'm sorry. What are the criteria to be the recipient of funding? So if 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 you know that maybe you can't afford it or you can't pay, um, then just like I said before, just text me personally and let me know. I'm gonna need some help sponsoring. Maybe you could pay this amount, but you can't pay the full amount. Maybe you can't pay the $100. I need to know the details of it, so that we can know how much to give. Because there are
Okay.
people who are just giving maybe more than just for one child. So we want to know the specific details. Again, let me know. Because
Okay.
yeah, so I can help you when you're filling out the information. Maybe I could be on a phone call with you while you're filling out the information. Um,
Okay.
mhm. And if you do need
Thank.
help, if you need help signing up your child, because it is all online, please let me know so I can help you.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now, do we have that link for signing?
Yes, so the link is right at the top. It's at the very top. And then what you'll do is you'll press student registration. And I was gonna walk through it with you guys actually right now.
Mhm.
Um, yes, I'm gonna show you kind of what that looks like real quick. Just real
Okay.
quick. It's not gonna be too long, y'all, I promise. Hold on. Let me just so
Okay.
people could see. All right, share. You guys are seeing yourself. Okay. So when you click that link at the top, I know you guys see, you go in that group chat, or hey, you leave out of this session. Okay, I forgot what it's called. Just covenantharbor.org. Covenantharbor.org. It's going to take you to winter camp. When you see winter camp, student registration, okay? And they'll give you you got to sign up with your name, your password. They're going to ask what church you're coming from. Calvary Covenant Church should already be in there. I can't sign up because I'm not a child, but this is what it's going to look like. So you shouldn't have to wonder, oh, I don't see my church. Calvary Covenant Church will be an option for you to sign your child up, if that makes sense. Um, and then you'll just go from there. It should be very simple. Let me stop sharing. Should be very simple, but again, I'm gonna go through it one more time by myself alone, just so I'm getting everything down. But if you have any questions, just text or call me. But just go to covenantharbor.org, covenantharbor.org, and it's the link at the top. All right.
Thank you, Kaya.
Yes. Any other questions? Any other questions? Again, if you don't have a question right now, but you might have a question later, feel free to text me. Um, again, my phone number.
Hi,
You
Kaya.
in the
Just
chat.
one really quick question. I know you said about the peanut allergy, but it's just safe to say just make it just a nut free zone, period, just a nut free zone as far as the snacks.
The snack. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. I didn't really hear the question too good.
No, I know you said that there's a lot of peanut allergies.
Hmm.
So I was just saying, is it just safe to just go ahead and say just no nuts at all, any nut?
Yeah, yeah. No,
Okay.
any nut. No, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of it, including me. I got peanut a little. Yeah, so no. Yeah. So just to be safe, nut-free zone, especially with so many youth there. Any other thank you. Thank you guys for asking all these questions. Any other questions? Is there a bus transportation? No, there's no bus transportation. There is will the youth leaders will be driving the youth down as of right now. I don't know if that'll change. That's kind of the more convenient option. I know most of the youth leaders have plenty of seats. I myself have like enough seats for to take some youth down. So it should be enough for the youth leaders to take all the students down. And we'll be leaving together, driving together. We'll all get there the same time, and then we'll come back the same time. Again, if you do want to drive your child down, you definitely can drive your child down. It's an hour and 45 minutes. But the expectation is if you do drive your child down, you have to leave with us. We are driving together, arriving together, and then of course we are all leaving together. Thank you for asking that. Is there bus transportation? Okay. Any other questions? If not, we're going to end here. And then for those of you who would like to help out with youth leading, please stay on just for a couple of minutes afterwards. Any more questions? Alrighty. Well, thank you guys. Thank you to all that came on here. Thank you guys for hopping on. I know it's late. Hopefully that wasn't too long, too boring. But thank you guys again. Again, any questions, my number's in the chat. Email me, call me. You don't have to do this alone. I can help you, walk you through some things. So don't be afraid to ask. Can you invite a guest? Yeah, if your child knows of someone who wants to come, I gotta know by this week. So I have to get their parents' information. I have to speak with their parent. Last time I did a lot of calling around, and honestly, guys, I can't call around. So if they know that they want to come, absolutely. Just let me know. Like a lot, let the parent call me or them to call me. We can put them in. I have to let Covenant Harbor know. They're pretty easygoing. Like, hey, we got an extra person. But I kind of got to know by the night the name of the person, or I'm sorry, tomorrow. And yeah, we could add them in. The more the merrier. But just kind of like we were telling you guys, like have some skin in the game. If they want to come, let us know. And we'll be more than happy to invite them on with us. Any more questions? Thank you guys.
Thank you, Kaya, for a thorough orientation.
Yes,
Very well done.
thank you so much. Thank you guys. I hope you guys have a good night and I'll see you guys soon.